Chris Daymont is St. Olaf Cross Country. She and the more than 1,000 women who have run for Daymont since she founded the program back in 1976. Originally, the goal was simply to provide female students opportunity. She did, and her kids ran with it. And they're still going nearly 4 decades later. From the beginning to today, with more on the way, Daymont has led the Ole's cross-country team for 33 seasons. And with the exception of 5 years in the early 80s, she's been in charge of and developed one of the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference's most successful programs. Her St. Olaf squads have competed in the NCAA championships 20 times, earning a total of 81 All-America honors from 33 individuals. Also during Daymont's tenure, the Ole's have claimed 9 MIAC team titles. In addition to cross-country, Daymont served as the head track and field coach at St. Olaf for 29 seasons. During that stretch, her athletes combined for another 70 All-American certificates and 2 individual national championships. Beyond her coaching, Daymont facilitated the Minnesota State High School Championships move to the St. Olaf's campus. She served as the meet director for several championship events. Daymont has also been a pioneer in water training as a distance and middle distance clinician around the region. Among her numerous accomplishments, one stands above all. On October 5, 2013, St. Olaf's inducted both Daymont and her daughter Megan into the school's Athletics Hall of Fame. Megan, who ran for her mother both in cross country and on the track, said of the honor, quote, "It meant more than if I was just being inducted myself." Her mother offered a similar sentiment, saying, "To go in at the same time with my daughter, that's icing on the cake." Beyond coaching, Daymont has spent numerous hours teaching students in the classroom as well as an associate professor specializing in exercise physiology. Tonight we honor a woman who has worked tirelessly, progressively, and relentlessly to better the lives of her student athletes and guide them to brighter future in both sports and academics. It's Chris Daymont, St. Olaf 2014 Coaches Hall of Fame inductee.
The gentleman, Chris Daymont.
Wow, I'm glad I changed hairdressers. I liked the 70s fro. I am honored and humbled by this incredible recognition. My thanks to the committee and congratulations to my fellow honorees. I am proud to be a member of the class of 2014 Hall of Fame. So many to thank. But first, I'd like to recognize the role my family played in how my personal and professional life has played out. My mother had a passion for excellence, fairness, and inclusion. She, more than anyone, shaped me into the person I am. She believed that if you gave someone an opportunity and they took advantage of that opportunity, one could change the world. And my dad, for not even flinching when we built a track and field complex in our backyard. We wrecked the landscape with our track and turned the sandbox into a combination long jump, high jump venue. No porta pits in that day. And this was years before I would be allowed to wear a uniform and play on an organized women's team. There were no sport opportunities for girls during my high school years, but my parents were Title IX advocates well before its birth. They sued the state of New York so that my younger sister, Katie, could run on the high school boys team. A year later, she was captain of the boys cross-country team and earned a full athletic scholarship to Iowa State. My mother sewed the uniforms for the Syracuse Chargers and for the junior team to represent the United States because men's cuts just didn't fit. That's powerful stuff to grow up with. So to those of you who wonder where my passion for developing a women's program started, I was only doing what my mother taught me. 2 of my sisters are here with me today, Katie, who has always been an inspiration to me, and my twin sister, Janine. I'm 10 minutes older and have been trying to stay a step ahead of her my entire life. Thanks for coming from both coasts, one from New York and one from California, to represent my family. I was a senior at Cortland State when the Syracuse Chargers coach, Al Bonney, saw me run a relay leg in an all-comers meet. Little did I know that running a leg on a 400-meter relay would forever change my life. I started training and racing for both Cortland State and the Syracuse Chargers. This led to a grad assistantship with the men's track and field and cross-country program at Syracuse University under Al Boni, and my first coaching experience. I must say that when I went into coaching, I didn't see myself spending the rest of my life coaching track and field. Truth be known, I was trying to make an Olympic team, and the sport I really wanted to coach was basketball. This grad assistantship was a great opportunity for me. I could help with the team, train, go to classes, earn my master's at Syracuse. Piece of cake. 2 months later, Al was off to Washington, and it was just me and the SU boys facing the 1975-76 track season. I was 23 years old with absolutely no experience, and I was terrified. Luckily, I was privileged to coach with some of the finest coaches in the country, but I was too naive and ignorant to realize it at the time. So a very long, overdue thank you to Harry Groves, Penn State, Jack Warner, Cornell University, Tim Hale from Rochester, and my husband, Dick Daymont from Hartwick College. Never telling me how to coach or what to do, these men helped me have success as the Syracuse University interim men's coach. They opened doors into the coaching world for me, and in that 1 year, I got 10 years of experience, and a wonderful husband that still opens doors for me. When I came to St. Olaf in the mid-'70s, I came intending to stay 3 years, not a lifetime. But this place and these young women became my life and my other family. It was the exact right place at the exact right time. I started with 3 talented women and built a team around them. Our roster has never been a who's who list of athletes. It's always read more like a who's that? But it was never about winning for me. It was about providing opportunity. Each year we graduate women I think we'll never survive without. And each year, new first-year students join like a breath of fresh air. They come in all shapes, sizes, and abilities, all different and at the same time very much alike. No doubt, I had individuals with tremendous talent on our teams, but the heart and soul of our program were the kids that show up every day, work hard, strive to improve without ever scoring a point, winning a race, or making the conference or national teams. They unselfishly give energy, perspective, and personality to each team. I guess that's why I love Division III. So to all of the women I've coached, past, present, and future, I also thank you. It may have been the men that helped me start my career, and I have been fortunate to be colleagues of some fantastic male coaches, but it's the women that have kept me going. I've admired veteran coaches like Deb Verkateren at Oshkosh, Debbie Aiken, Colby, Beth Sullivan, now at Tennessee, to name a few. They were examples of excellence for me. But the women I coach with in the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference are my lifeline. I knew them all as student athletes and have watched them become dedicated coaches and strong role models for their young teams. We've learned from each other, have had lots of fun through the years. So Donna, Betsy, Robin, Margaret, Sean, I am proud to be in your league, and I truly value your friendship. Through the years, I have hired my alums as assistant coaches, and they have contributed greatly to the success of our program. To my current assistants, Becky Rudd and Andrea Gelly, my presenter, it was an honor to coach you, and now to have you coach by my side. And finally, my family. I'm so happy to have my husband and 3 children here tonight. My husband, Dick Daymont, I wouldn't be up here without him. I married a track rat, and his support and energy has no end. Our sporting goods store became Dick Daymont's Northfield Sports and Daycare, so that our children would have a place to go after school instead of dragging them to every single practice and meet. So from making pancakes for our Saturday practices to announcing our meets and everything in between, thank you. The very best 6 years of my coaching were when I was coaching my daughters. Sarah was born to be an Ole. She was my assistant from the time she could read a watch and write a number. She remembered all splits and personal bests better than I ever did. She was an awesome captain and a student of the sport, and was also an assistant at St. Olaf. She uses that talent today, teaching and coaching her high school track and field team. And Megan was the best athlete I've ever coached. I was thrilled when she decided to come to St. Olaf, and my main goal was not to screw her up. She completed the Grand Slam of Championships, and no Ole has done it better. She's a Hall of Famer in her own right. When her busy life allows, she's a volunteer coach with Sarah's program. Both daughters made me a better coach because it drove home the necessity to balance the critical aspects of coaching and the love of a mom. That recipe works for all kids on the team. And both daughters and their husbands have provided me with the best job I've ever had. Grandma to 4 wonderful grandchildren, Josephine, Zach, Parker, and Quinn. To my son Tommy, the number 3 kid. He was dragged to so many track meets. I think he made sandcastles in every long jump pit in the state. And though he used to pretend otherwise, he was his sister's biggest fan. He uses his artistic talent to help me, from designing team and MIAC t-shirts and programs to shooting videos of our cross-country meets from his drone. He's here tonight with his fiancée, Bree. And last, coming full circle, I'd like to recognize again the person who believed in me first, probably most, and definitely the longest, my mom. My 92-year-old dad and I were visiting Mom in her hospital room when I got the Hall of Fame announcement. After recovering from the shock and assuring my mother that nothing bad had happened to my family, I read her the release. It was very special to share this news with my mother just days before she died. I know she was very proud and very happy for me. So in closing, to those of you who got me started, stayed by my side all these years, believed in me, and loved me, thank you.
Presenting the Hall of Fame Award, St. Olaf women's head track and field coach, Andrea Gelle.